What's up, guys? Chris with Cross CNC and CNC for Newbies, coming at you live from the garage. Um, I've got a ton of stuff going on the machines. As you guys can see, the tool changers at the back, the automatic tool changer spindle is up here. But I wanted to show you guys uh, this this wiring setup. I added in a laser. Right now on the big machine, I'm actually using the op laser system, and then on the high speed machine, I'm using the JTEC. And then after all of that, I will be testing out. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get this without crashing it. Okay. And then I'll be testing out the Niji. And the reason why I'm saying about all three of them is I'm going to be hooking all three of them up to all three of the machines to see which laser system operates better on which machine, um, in terms of keeping up with speed, getting consistent burns, and everything like that. Um, Not all lasers are created equal, obviously. So I really want to know what's going to work best for each of the machines, and I'm going to try and size everything to those machines. Um, so for right now, what I have going on is the JTEC and Op lasers for doing a UCCNC hookup. It's actually very simple. In here, you have two wires coming off of the control modules that are PWM. All you have to do is wire them into an output and a ground, and then you have to assign that output in UCCNC as a PWM pin. In my case, I have my secondary breakout board, and I labeled pin 14 as my PWM output. And I created a laser only profile. So it actually operates like a spindle, but instead of using the regular spindle profile, I put it as its own laser profile. Um, so that's that's where I hooked up that one on the new closed loop controller. Uh, like I said, it's two wires. You've got one PWM positive, you got one PWM negative that goes to ground. I put mine in pin 14. So over on the uh, high speed new carve, the laser actually hooks into the back of the control box. Okay, and you're going to pull it off of the 0 to 10 volts right here. All right, and um, whenever you pull it off of that, you're going to be able to get vector control with no issues. There's also uh, plugins for UCCNC that are running um, laser images. I will tell you, I don't use that. I use my Viking CNC controls converters for doing raster images, um, mainly because that's what it's good for. Uh, the One of the wheels broke on my vertical cart, the wheel lock. Anyways, um, the Viking CNC converter works really good um, at doing raster images, and I like using Pick Engrave and Pixender together with those, or Lightburn. I have all the above. I use them whenever I see fit per project. Okay. But you guys that are intimidated about hooking up a laser to your UCCNC machines, don't be. It's really simple to set up. You can use the Mach 2.3 No Z dynamic laser post processor in Vectric, and you can run a 0 to 10 volt PWM output and get full output of your laser for vectors. You can do outline and fill, and then if you want to do pictures and stuff, that'll pretty much be up to you to figure out. Like I said, I have different things that I use for different projects, but the big thing that I get questioned about a lot is, how do you hook up your laser? I run 2 wires into the breakout board, and then I run the rest of the wires up through the drag chain and out at the spindle and bring it out. And, it is what it is. So one thing I have found is the side mount for the laser works really well for both the JTech and the Op laser with the automatic spindle. So right now, this is not promoting any laser system. I'm just showing you guys kind of the setups that I have. Right now, I have the Op lasers put on with the side mount, and because it's the automatic spindle, I have it ran through here, and that'll set my laser off to the side so I don't have to take the dust boot and everything like that off just to run the laser. So on the 3636 high speed, we have the dust boot, but it comes off and on pretty easy. So I use the straight mount on the front. For me, I like that a lot more. That's how I run my microscope camera. That's how I run my tracer, and that's how I run my impact engraver on that machine. Okay, almost all of which are relay controlled or PWM controlled. So, pretty simple inputs, outputs, and wiring up power. If you guys are running the Geckos, let me see here. I have that little power converter. Let me get that out here. All right. Get over here. Push that way. Okay. Let's see here. As you guys can tell, I'm actually cleaning up the garage. Okay, let's see. I've got a ton of microcontrollers that I was working with. So is this it? Yes. Okay. Here are the buck converters. You can find these on Amazon. These are the ones that I use. It has an adjustable potentiometer. It has a digital readout, and I can set my input and I can set my output voltages. So it'll tell me what my input voltage is. And for the Gecko controls, it's 36 volt, and you can tap off of that, run it through this, and take it down to 12 volt right off of the main Gecko power supply. what that allows you to do then is not have another uh, 110 volt power plug that you have to plug into something uh, for the power for the laser. Okay. Um, this is actually the one I used for my JTEC on my Gecko control panel. As you can see right here, it's actually running the lathe now. Um, but having this little converter made it real nice because I didn't have any more extra 110 electrical to run, um, and I could run right off of the main power supply for the Gecko using this, and I was able to run my laser with no problem. And you can put quick connects on them and onto the driver control board, and that'll allow you to remove the laser from the front of the machine and put it in a box whenever it's not in use. And if you have your CNC running, you can always go up to Harbor Freight, buy some of the foam floor mats, and buy a single flute upcut foam cutter and route out a nice case and foam insert for it. So those are some things that I'm doing right now. Um, as I said, I'm just playing around with stuff. This is in no way, shape, or form trying to push a certain laser. This is for all the guys um, using different control systems. Uh, it's pretty straightforward getting them to run. The hardest one for me was actually setting up um, the Gecko controller, and it's been so long since I set it up. I really would have to sit down and wire another one up and write everything down again as to how I got it done. So, but I just figured I'd go live, show you guys. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Um, but I just figured I would go live, show you where we're at, and see what we got. All right, later.